I'm Ramsey the loud one.
I'm Jesse the short one.
Put us both into one, we are.
Lots of noise, always too fast, lots of laughs. Here's our podcast, the loud and short of it.
Hi, and welcome to Loud and Short of It. I'm Ramsey the loud one.
And I'm Jesse the short one. And this week we had a variety hour. We're going to go over 5 topics, music, television, video games, other, and politics.
Yeah.
And we're not going to do that this week because there was a domestic terrorist attack on the Capitol.
Yeah.
So music, television, video games don't seem all that fucking important right now.
Yeah, we're only talking about television. And this was on TV. On a living fucking nightmare.
When this happens in video games, it feels better written.
Yeah, and if you're my son and you're watching this 30 years from now, this is what happened. The president there was the Georgia runoffs happened. Both Democratic seats went Democratic, and then there was a protest outside of the Capitol of our nation. And a bunch of Trump supporters were out there, and then Trump went and spoke at it, and then they were like, you know, they're voting on something we don't agree with, something that's we think they're stealing the election from us with no proof. Let's fucking storm the Capitol. And
with guns.
And then they did.
Yeah.
And all of that happened. So,
and then the cops let them in, or half the cops let them in. The other cops were like, no, please don't. And then, they got the Capitol for like couple hours.
Yeah, if your McGraw-Hill isn't saying that this is horrifying, then, well, you're alive, worse. But we're Arab, and you probably don't exist. I love you, son.
I just want to... Now, we already kind of started on just how crazy this one is. Let's put this out there. We're recording this the day after.
Yeah.
All the facts are not out. Nobody's opinion on this should be formed yet.
Yeah.
The news doesn't even know all of what happened or the true scope of what has happened or what's going to happen.
No.
So expect lots of cuts where we might say something stupid and need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Or this is going to be one that we're going to look back on in a couple months and either be very embarrassed or be like, wow, we fucking nailed it.
This is going to be a very choppy episode because Jesus Christ, man.
It's a choppy week.
The only thing that I think is brave is that we have the nuts to fucking record this. This literally happened, and then the next fucking day I looked at the calendar crossing my fingers, and I was like, fuck. It's a fucking variety hour. We had no time on this.
Yeah. We don't even get to talk about the fact that Kanye might be gay and is divorced.
Yeah, that's our pop culture topic. We're bringing it back for just this week.
Here we go. Okay, let's get into it.
Okay.
You already touched on it. Let's get the simple things out. Georgia, both Democratic senators won. They won by such large margins that there won't be a recount.
Yep.
This now means that the Democrats are in charge of the White House, they are in charge of the Senate, and they are in charge of the House.
Yep.
So they could get fucking anything they wanted done, basically, other than the Supreme Court shutting things down.
So Joe Biden has to do something cool.
Has to do something cool in the next 2 years. But will he actually get to be in the White House? To be decided after yesterday, because basically, if you don't know, the Senate, through arbitrary and silly laws, they have to confirm the Electoral College, the already silly and arbitrary laws of how we decide votes in this country. They've never not, ever. In 2000, they tried to, or 2004, they tried to with the Kerry versus Bush, and they were immediately like, no, that'd be insane.
Yeah.
And they backed off. So they were going to do this time, except Ted Cruz and some dipshit senator from Arizona were like, no, we're going to veto this.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and then people were mad that was going to happen, so they stormed the Capitol.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck to say about politics anymore because every day something happens or I'm just like, this is unbelievable. By the way, Trump released a video today. I want to get this one out of the way where he told everyone to go home. He condemned the things that happened at the Capitol, even though he fucking caused them.
This is after the day of he released a video that got immediately taken off of Twitter of him saying, "We love you and you're special" to the people that were there. Just like
after they were in the fucking Capitol building, a fucking Confederate flag was flown and was carried and on display in our goddamn Capitol building.
Which didn't happen during the Civil War.
No,
they never made it that far.
No, I got. If you're a fucking Republican at this point, you have to quit. You have to say you're an independent at the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Jesus. But he did release a video and he condemned it and he committed to a peaceful transfer of power. So I don't know, man. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe this will go properly, but I fucking don't know anymore.
How many times have we said maybe it'll go right?
Too many.
So to take a break from just that insanity, let's talk about some of the crazy shit that we saw that was a little bit less scary.
Yeah.
We saw a man who I would say was dressed in Viking hipster chic.
He was wearing like a sheep head thing, and I don't
Horns. He had no shirt. Brick tattoos.
He looked like a guy
He
you'd
was wearing
see.
like fishing pants.
He looked like a guy you'd see at Renfest, and your dad would be like, "You're gonna walk on the other side of me today."
And that guy made it all the way into the Capitol.
Yeah,
Which if there
100%.
was like one person for a cop to be like, don't let crazies in, it'd be like that guy. You'd be like, not him.
Yeah.
Anybody else, they're just, protesting. This guy's doing something else.
God, the funniest thing was that it'd be if he wasn't actually a fucking Republican, he was just selling them all drugs.
He was treating it like the dopest rave that's ever happened.
Oh God, maybe he was tripping. He thought it was
spitting glow sticks on people.
Oh God, yeah. And then people on Twitter wanted to fuck him.
Yep, that was my
apparently.
favorite. Left, right. That's what binded the country together. Was apparently people wanted to fuck this guy.
Being on, just being in, talking to our friends who are politically active, we were looking at that. We were like, I didn't fucking understand remotely. This was the most unimpressive person I've seen in my life. Maybe it's like the cheerleader effect, because like all the opposite though, because all the other fucking ugly chuds were around him, and then they were just like, this guy's fuckable because he has a chin.
That may have been the biggest takeaway from all this, like apart from anything else. It's that these like the hardcore Trumpers, the ones willing to run into a Capitol and potentially die for him, ugliest fuckers on the planet.
Yeah.
My God. And it wasn't just like, I'm not trying to be like, the country bumpkin's missing tooth thing. No, these were like incel fat fucks that had like just escaped mommy's basement and were like, we're going to cosplay military boys.
I don't know, man. I guess like girls will fuck you if you act like a person, man. Like, I'm sorry.
Being a person does not include storming the Capitol.
No.
Because you're upset that your buddy lost.
I don't know, man. Get off of fucking 4chan for 10 minutes.
It's Parler now. You got to get off Parler.
Oh, sorry. How could I forget fucking Parler? The last bastion of free speech where Nazis can finally have some power.
And you have to give your social security number to make an account.
Is that true?
It's all a grift.
Maybe it's a false flagger or whatever they call them.
It's grifts all the way down.
Oh man.
Okay, let's get back into the negative stuff. These cops, just insane. The videos.
Yeah.
We got videos of cops helping protesters down the stairs after they had been escorted out.
Yeah.
We got videos of cops opening gates to let people in.
Yeah.
We got videos of cops taking selfies with protesters
while they're inside the Capitol.
like while they're committing felonies.
Yeah. They're probably like, I'm off at 6. I'll see you in an hour.
Out of the thousands and thousands of people that stormed into the Capitol, I believe that there were 4 deaths total.
Yeah.
One of which was because a man tasered himself and had a heart attack.
Jesus Christ.
So this was the most tame display the cops have shown in the history of U.S. law enforcement, and it was when people were storming the Capitol.
We fucking went to protests in Austin after George Floyd was murdered by police, and we were standing in Austin and
in the designated. This is where you should
at the
stand
Capitol,
up.
and we faced down the National fucking Guard. They were dudes in stormtrooper outfits and fucking like AR-15s, and we were just like, we have goldfish and water. You're a piece of shit. I don't know. It blows my mind. People were getting hurt. We got fucking tear gas because APD popped tear gas on the fucking people on the highway, and then they blew it with leaf blowers into the fucking crowd in front of APD, who was where they were supposed to be. I don't know, man. People in fucking Austin were brutalized harder than people who fucking committed domestic terror in Washington D.C.
You couldn't write a book that more perfectly describes why we don't need cops anymore. Even if you believed every argument during the BLM protests of that cops are needed to maintain law and order, they're there for our protection, everything else. Well, they fucking weren't.
No.
This time, so they're only there to harass one specific group of people and to protect rich people's belongings.
Yeah,
that's their entire fucking purpose.
and to pull you over when you're going 85 and a 70. I don't know, man. Drive safely. I guess
and
that
then
wasn't
treat you differently depending on what you look like and what kind of car you're driving.
I don't know. I don't fucking understand any argument for cop. This is the best. The people are eating themselves now. The fucking Blue Lives Matter people completely fucking proved, because they all hate cops now because they were mean to them at the Capitol a little bit. They all fucking turned on the police, and I was just like, bro, you have fully explained that blue lives don't matter. You just fucking, it was all about racism for you.
Yep. But maybe we'll actually see some change now that everybody doesn't like the cops.
Yeah, maybe, dude. I don't know. I don't know if I want these people on my side.
Yeah, it's a fair point. This was like watching it was the definition of watching two of your enemies just beat the shit out of each other for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
And they're like the unplannedness of it.
Yeah.
The goal was to get in the Capitol. And then once the cops let them in, it was just like a bunch of people standing around in the Capitol. People threw paper everywhere at one point.
There was a movie that came out like 10 years ago called White House Down, where terrorists invade the White House, and I was like, this is all bullshit. They can't just roll up in there and be like, psych, we're terrorists. They fucking could have. I'm sorry, Channing Tatum. You were right.
Every single crime movie, book, TV show from now on is gonna be absurd.
This is gonna make
they're way too good at this. It's like these could have just been, all they had to do was make a Facebook post and thousands of people would have shown up.
This is gonna make every form of media better, because they're just gonna be like, oh man, they just walked into the White House, and we'll be like, yeah, it happened one time.
What else we got? It just got to be stated one more time. Maybe we're going to have to cut around and play with this. But if this had been a BLM protest, it wouldn't have been 4 people dead. It would have been fucking Tiananmen Square level massacre. It would have been horrific.
Yeah, we saw in Washington, D.C. what they did when they weren't storming the fucking Capitol. They were in the streets. It was lawfully protesting.
Trump wanted to take a picture in front of a church that was on the other side of the Capitol, or where the White House and the Capitol is. And they built giant fucking walls, maced and pepper sprayed the shit out of people and shot them with rubber bullets to get them off of a street.
Yeah.
So that Trump could drive and get a photo op.
Every fucking asshole about the shit in Portland and like the autonomous zone where everyone's acting like it's a bunch of fucking criminals, like they're all monsters and shit. And like, dude, like shut the fuck up, bro. There's videos of the people in the autonomous zone like fucking singing and having a good time because they freed themselves from fucking police officers. Meanwhile, we literally have people charging the fucking Capitol, doing whatever the fuck they want. And of course, they're going to be lauded as fucking heroes by the right and be like, oh, well, Trump just had to condemn them. My
favorite take so far is that all the bad stuff that happened at the Capitol was really Antifa pretending to be right-wing.
Oh, how are you ever going to gain power if you keep giving the other side credit every time you do something? You're like, I don't know how you think you're going to stumble into the fucking... I don't know, man. Jesus Christ. All right.
Now we're ready to dive into what's going to happen now that all of this has happened?
Yeah.
Well, to end on, they got everyone out of the Capitol. Everyone got ushered out. They ushered everybody, I believe, even out of the Capitol grounds.
Wasn't there like 4 arrests or something ridiculous?
No, after night went down, there was over 50. But even that's not that many arrests for what was going on.
We'll see if they're fucking charged with federal crimes.
I will admit that afterwards, the cops were going right back to being normal cops and just beating the shit out of people on the streets. For no reason. And I'm not a fan of curfews in pretty much any fucking situation. So, once again, I'm watching 2 enemies beat the shit out of each other for no reason.
Yeah.
At night, I had switched teams. Cops shouldn't have been doing what they were doing, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't support any form of police brutality, but it's just like whenever... It's not
if there's a situation that it would call for, it would be storming the Capitol.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything.
Domestic terror. Why the fuck wasn't the army there?
I'm going to be very honest. I wouldn't have even expected cops to be involved. I thought once you got on the Capitol, it would be like a different group entirely.
Yeah.
You'd be like, no, these aren't cops. These are fucking... whatever the Secret Service is for the Senate.
Yeah.
Or trained CIA agents.
SWAT didn't even show up. Just anything. Regular old, it's Capitol Hill Guard. I was like, oh, thank God. Can you imagine being a fucking Capitol Hill Guard now? Like how much lower the requirements are going to be because no one's going to want to fucking do it.
Oh boy. Anyways, they got everybody out, and then they held the vote like normal, and Biden's gonna be the president.
Yep.
So that's how it ended. So they delayed it by like 4 hours and made themselves in America look just dumb as fuck in the process.
The vote ended at like 4 a.m. I remember getting that notification the next day, and I was like,
Me, the political junkie and idiot, was up very late last night watching C-SPAN of every senator had to give his 5-minute spiel about this was bad. Ted Cruz is bad.
Yeah.
And then just Ted Cruz mopey ass face being like, I caused all of this but won't admit it.
You're like, well, no, it was bad what happened. Oh, dude, Matt Gaetz. Fuck, sorry, I forgot. He knows I hate Matt Gaetz. This fucking asshole was just like, well, you know, the fucking president definitely said to peacefully protest. I was like, no, he didn't. You fucking idiot. Just like all the senators standing up looking like fucking morons. And I fucking pray that in our history books, they are shit talked and portrayed as the biggest fucking losers. I hope my kid reads in a McGraw-Hill fucking textbook that Donald Trump called fucking Ted Cruz's wife ugly, and Ted Cruz did everything short of suck his dick.
And we don't even know if that's true yet. The tape might have
no
just
clue.
not come out.
We saw Lindsey Graham flip.
Yeah, but at this point, he gets no credit for flipping at this moment.
Oh, no. I was saying it was surprising because maybe we'll see whatever Trump has on him.
Yeah, that's fair. The only takeaway I'd get from watching hours and hours of C-SPAN was Ed Markey at one point got up to give his little declaration. And if you don't know Ed Markey, probably the second most left-leaning senator outside of Bernie Sanders. He beat a Kennedy to win his seat, which is fucking crazy. But he gave a speech just about like how absolutely fucked it is, and instead of being like, this is a bad situation that we shouldn't have ended up in, he was like, this is your fault, senators. All of you that are coming here each day and keep lying, this is your fault. You keep spreading these lies. And then he goes on to say that we have to get money out of politics. That's how you solve this issue. And we have to get rid of the Electoral College. And it was just like, instead of just complaining and whining, he brought up obvious policy decisions to be like, these would solve these problems. People would be less radicalized, less insane, less believing of absolute garbage if you got rid of a couple ridiculous things.
It's just frustrating because I feel like it's just so few fucking politicians are actually out there saying stuff like that.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I seeing everyone on the floor was like shocking to me because I was just like, fuck. Like, you guys are just sitting here, like Republicans especially, you guys are sitting here and not every single one of you are like, what have we done? Jesus.
You got to keep in mind, especially with the House, like looking at, because over 100 Republicans in the House voted to not let Joe Biden become president yesterday. So it was more than half of House Republicans voted no on admitting that the 2020 election happened.
You think they're just like vying to try and like grab Trump supporters?
So I think what happens is with the House, it's so gerrymandered because every red state and blue state is split up in horrific ways. So you can just you have to appeal to the lowest common denominator to win. You can't be a moderate Republican, which I don't think exists anymore.
No.
But
Joe Biden's a moderate Republican.
Yeah, but years ago you could, and now that's just not a possibility because your district. I mean, look at Austin. I live in downtown Austin, not as far as you could possibly get, but 15 minutes from the Capitol, and I'm in a red county.
Jesus.
And that's just how most major cities across the U.S. are because of gerrymandering. So with the House specifically, with the Senate's a little different because it's the whole state. But it's just the House is full of crazies. The House is a QAnon member. There's a member of the House that believes in QAnon openly.
Oh my God. Okay.
Like
I'm leaving America. I'm done.
We're in a different world now.
Yeah. I guess at this point, was it Nancy Pelosi who said that they want to invoke the 25th Amendment?
Yeah, so right after all this, Cori Bush, she's a new member of the House. This is her first day. She already wrote up basically using Article 14, Section 2, I think, which basically says that if you commit an act of treason or encourage an act of treason, you cannot hold political office.
Yeah.
And she's already written that up and wants to apply it to Ted Cruz and a bunch of Republican senators.
Oh, yeah, they're talking about like expulsion and shit.
Yeah. So I don't think that's going to happen because we live in a fucked up world, but the fact that that's Cori Bush's first day, she drops that, and that's her first piece of legislation she wrote. So that is
fantastic
awesome.
start.
So cool. That's dope. Then on top of that, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Cory Bush, tons of people called for Trump to be impeached a second time, and then hopefully, because now Democrats control the Senate, removed from office afterwards.
Yeah.
So Nancy Pelosi got on board with it today. Said if he doesn't get Article 25, he'll get impeached again.
Yeah.
And then,
she's on a hot streak recently.
Oh my God! If you watched any episode that involved politics in this podcast, we are not fans of Nancy Pelosi.
No, the negotiating's paying off
Yeah,
though.
but man, the past 2 weeks, she killed it with the $2,000. You can get as mad as you want. Twitter leftist, fuck off. She did a good job for once. You got to give her props when she deserves it.
Nancy Pelosi on thin fucking ice.
Nancy, if you take the energy you've had the past 14 days and you carry that shit to 2022, not only will the House be 80% Democrat, but I'll go apologize to my dad for shit talking you. On air, I will admit, I will go up to my father and be like, I was wrong. Nancy Pelosi, tactical genius.
If you do good things, you put good in the world, good will come to you. Maybe next year you'll meet your fucking 180th birthday.
And then now she's saying she's gonna impeach Trump. So, fuck yeah.
We have to hope, bro. We have to fucking hope at this point.
And I don't know. It seems like a legitimate possibility, and I would love that for the history books. I know it makes no real difference because the man could
2 weeks out.
Man could drop a bomb tomorrow, and we'd all be fucked either way.
Yeah.
So, but
we gotta just.
I want to be able to tell my kids that Trump didn't get to serve 4 years.
Yeah,
it's already embarrassing enough he won, and it's embarrassing enough he got to serve 3 years and 50 days or whatever.
Yeah.
But let's not make it 4.
I'm hoping that. I don't know, dude. We got like 2 weeks left. I hope it still happens, despite his video being like, "I'm sorry, what they did was bad." I hope they still are just like, "No, it's over. You have to be removed from office."
Yeah. I think the precedent set, if he isn't, is dangerous as fuck.
At that point, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
There's literally no. The rules are if you get to president, you can do anything you want.
Yeah, he pulled off like this shit is like less convincing than like in fucking Star Wars when Palpatine takes over. Everyone's like, "Nah, it's dumb." Like, no, it's not anymore. What else are we missing?
Well, I mean, Trump getting impeached or removed from office or Article 25, pretty minor. I mean, who really cares? Because what matters is, does he get to be on the internet?
Oh fuck yeah. Dude, a Trump news channel is gonna fuck us. I think he's gonna run for president again.
Oh, see, I wasn't even talking about that. I'm just talking about what happened today or yesterday.
Oh, when he got banned from Facebook.
Zuck and Mr. Twitter both kicked their boy off. No more Trump tweets. Trump on Twitter is being told he has to delete 3 tweets, and then he'll be allowed back in 48 hours. And on Facebook, he just got banned for 2 weeks and doesn't get to come back until he's not president no more.
He posted the video today, so I imagine he did delete the tweets, inciting high treason. But we're just gonna have to see, because before Trump tweeted a bunch and talked shit about Obama, and then he ended up in the White House, and now we'll see what a post-presidency Trump tweets like if he's allowed to. I fucking hope Twitter's just like, no, we're not doing this anymore.
I go back and forth on that because I first off and foremost, I fear an authoritarian fascist government. But then right after that, I also fear a technocratic takeover of Twitter and Facebook being our overlords. So but once again, this is just a day full of watching 2 things I don't like beat the shit out of each other. Just let them tussle it out. We'll figure it out in the end. This has gone from like when you got that one uncle who doesn't pay attention to politics at all but says the dumbest, craziest shit, and you're like, funny uncle. And now that uncle's in the fucking Capitol with a gun. And you're like, oh, not funny uncle no more.
God. I don't know, dude. I just hope from here on out people are gonna start being embarrassed to say they're Republicans or
I was gonna
conservatives.
say I want to end on the same note you started with, that at this point, how do you click that in your own head?
Yeah, I don't know. I think people already were in my head were, and I think it's interesting to look. I bet you could fucking look back and cut the podcast of how many times we fucking say at this point, how could you support X or Y or whatever? But like with Republicans, this is the point where it's just like, there's no going back. If you support this shit after this, like, don't fucking speak to me.
Yeah.
Go get committed. Like, you're you're not just a piece of shit. You're a traitor. I don't know. There's nothing more I can give you, man.
But apart from all that, I think the Republican Party, just in general, it's a dead party.
Yeah.
As long as Biden doesn't fuck up over the next 2 years, it's over for them. And their only chance of redemption, I would say, is impeaching Trump.
Yeah.
And wiping your hands clean and then lying and being like, we were never part of him.
Yeah.
We got nothing to do with Trump. We're the centrists. That's what we're going to do now. And that's their only fucking hope.
If you move it, because they need the fucking youth at this point, and every remotely young person is like, this is bonkers. We can't do this anymore. So if they, I still don't. I don't know. I don't support centricism. I think it's a fucking every centrist I know grew up with too much money. But I don't know, man. I think that there is going to be a shift. I hope that the Republican Party as it is today is done, and I pray they all accept that. Except Ted Cruz. Fuck you.
I think Ted Cruz is going to go down with the ship on this one.
Yeah, probably.
You
think he still thinks he can be president one day?
I do, but you gotta keep in mind the reason that Ted Cruz stuck with Trump and most of the other Republicans didn't. I mean, even Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham bailed on him. Is no one likes Ted Cruz. Like, I'm not making a joke here. Like, Mitch McConnell, I fucking hate the man. I think he's evil. I think he's incredibly intelligent. You can't deny it. But I think he's an evil fucking piece of shit. But Republicans like him. His colleagues like him. He does an amazing job at fucking America over. No one likes Ted Cruz.
No.
Republicans hate his fucking guts. Democrats hate his fucking guts. He's just a slimy, wormy fuck who lets fat orange men make fun of his wife. Like, he's just, there's no redeemable qualities. So he had to go down with it.
Yeah.
He can't hop off and get a life rap
He's
with
like,
anybody else.
Mitch McConnell's like the evil popular kid, but then like fucking Ted Cruz is like the fucking henchman of the bully whose dad beats him up, and he's mean to everyone because of it. They all hate him.
Ted Cruz is the kid that still pulls girls' hair in high school. Like, he's not even part of like a political group he's like a fucking 8-year-old.
Ted Cruz is the where's my hug, dude. All right, we want to take like 20 minutes to do a Ted Cruz roast.
Ted Cruz, I will gauntlet you in this backyard. You give me a time, a date, I'm ready for it.
Do you know what the worst? I got two things. You know what the worst thing that ever happened
your
in
wife
America?
Is ugly.
She's not that ugly.
I know she's not.
He's such a fucking loser. He let that happen. Trump just said it. He was. Oh god, I can't even get started on that. Say what you want, man. That she's probably evil. That's a regular looking person. And he's just like, yeah, Trump, you're right, Dad. But one of the worst days in American history was when Jimmy Kimmel challenged Ted Cruz to basketball, and then Jimmy Kimmel lost. Jim, you let everyone down. I fucking will never respect you the same way I did.
I didn't even know that happened.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you weren't exposed to it. The second thing is that the night everything happened, last night, I guess, Jesus, time has been nothing. TV was just running. Everything was going normal. Jimmy Fallon was on his fucking show. Jimmy Kimmel had a show. And I was like, why is not every single channel in America running what's happening in the Senate right now?
Yep.
You need to have a hard TNT. We're not playing they played basketball last night. I didn't watch it. I was like, fuck no. This is one of those things where I was shocked that television continued after that.
Yeah.
This just should have been a hard stop.
This is just a totally another one because I know we're making hard cuts everywhere. The D.C. local paper ran quotes from the cops explaining the situation that happened. There's videos of the cops helping people in. Just because they have a fucking badge doesn't mean that they're telling you the truth.
Yeah.
In fact, it usually means the exact fucking opposite.
I see them picking up the gate and being like, "Let them in," and they just walk. And I was like,
waved them. Like,
yeah.
You can see, like, it's. And we'll see if investigations go into that. I wonder, like, what arrests are going to be made. Because these people, they're the same fuckers that don't wear masks.
Yeah.
So they're on every CCTV camera, their own filming, selfies, breaking multiple felonies, or committing multiple felonies. And the cops as well are there committing felonies and allowing these things to happen. How are these going to be prosecuted? What's gonna go on?
I don't know. All right, yeah. Hold on, I got a fucking thing on this. Why did no one like shit anywhere? Mm-hmm. I'm surprised they didn't have like a fucking like. No one was like talking about like, yeah, they were nutting places. They were shitting. This dude broke into Nancy Pelosi's office, and I was like, you're not gonna poop? I feel like that was like maybe I have too low of an opinion of these people, but you should have a low opinion of these people. I'm surprised no one shattered anything weird.
I agree because
I think they were too confused.
My first thought was like I assumed no one expected to get in, and then once you get in, like we were talking about, there's no plan. So like people just resorted. There's a guy that stole the podium.
Yeah,
carried a podium out. There was people were carrying handcuffs in empty rooms and trying to find like senators, like just out and about. Like it was the weirdest fucking
like
thing.
Zip ties and shit. I don't know, dude.
But yeah, in general, it is. I wonder if we're gonna get more and more news about what was going on, like inside, because at this point we know, one lady got shot because she ran into a hallway filled with federal agents, and after the 8 other doors that she wasn't allowed through, finally pushed it too far.
There's the picture of them like standing outside the fucking. It looks like fucking Nazi zombies. They have the fucking kind of is them trying to break into the fucking thing, and there's like 4 Capitol guards like pointing their guns out. And I was just like, dude, this is. I don't know.
My favorite video of all of these is at one point they're in this real small hallway and there's cops lined up with their shields and then just hundreds of people, and the people in the back that aren't directly facing the cops are pepper spraying the cops. Like they're attempting to pepper spray cops, but they're in an enclosed hallway. So just dozens of people just crying in a hallway covered in pepper spray.
One of my favorite videos was that one lady who was just like walking away from the Capitol crying, and someone was like, "What's wrong?" And they're like, "I went 4 feet." They're like, "What are you doing?" She's like, I went right in the Capitol and I went 4 feet and they maced me." And she's like crying, and they were just like, "Are you fucking serious?"
The best part of that video is how first they ask that, and then they go, "Can you give me your full name?"
Yeah,
it's her full name right after being like, "Yeah, I stormed the Capitol."
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Same as that chinless fucking idiot that I think his picture's been all over Twitter recently. He was near the lady that got shot, and he's just getting interviewed afterwards wearing a Trump hat.
Yeah,
and not the MAGA one, the boring one. And it's just like, "My name is blah, 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 McBlah, blah, blah. I was just blitzing my way to the Capitol, climbing scaffoldings, dodging cops, doing crime. And then this lady got shot." I was amazed.
I think that at this point, I don't know what I want to happen, because in my head I'm just like, they like have to be charged on a federal level. Like this has to happen. This was too blatant, but I don't even know anymore, dude. I don't know what's gonna come out of this. The thing is, Anderson Cooper said it best. He was like, "Bro, they're gonna go to fucking Olive Garden and they're gonna fucking go to their Marriott and they're just gonna be like, we fucking freed America today." and he was like, "That's the worst part about all this is they think they did something."
Yep,
they kind of did. They proved you can just walk into the Capitol.
That's another favorite part of this is that we couldn't get that $2,000 for everybody.
No.
Which, man, if we did, Trump would probably still be president and Georgia would have gone red. But that's debate for another day. If we couldn't get that $2,000, what we could get was $8 billion in defense spending.
Yeah.
And that couldn't protect the Capitol from a bunch of fucking idiots. We're ready to bomb the fuck out of any country that dares spit at us the wrong way.
She couldn't have spent like 8,000 on the Capitol defense. You couldn't have bought like anything remotely good. Say we roasted Ted Cruz. We said fuck Republicans. We said, why do you want to fuck the Viking guy?
We said fuck cops.
Fuck cops.
Cops are racist.
They're also just apparently they were pussies this time.
Yeah, well, they were pussy.
The day shift, I guess.
Yes.
And the night shift showed up, and they were just like,
well,
you didn't prep enough.
The night shift, they couldn't tell what color the people were, so they decided to just start batoning people and pepper spraying out into the distance. Once again, sometimes you have to laugh, people. Jesus
no, you
Christ.
have to like clever cut and make that. Like that's I like that one a lot. Oh my god. See, 25th Amendment. You think it's gonna happen? You think 25th Amendment or impeachment? I feel like they're not gonna do 25th
There's no way
Amendment.
it's a 25th Amendment.
No, it's gonna be straight to impeachment.
That would make like at least 8 Republicans would have to agree to have morals together, and that's never happened.
Oh yeah.
The only way that this goes down is a quick impeachment that Nancy rushes through, and then it goes to the Senate, and then the Senate 50-50 splits it down the fucking line perfectly. Actually, maybe Mitt Romney would have his chance to redeem himself 51-49, and then he's impeached. But Republicans are not going to flip on this.
Oh, man. All right, well, we've said fuck everyone. We've gone through.
Cori Bush, fucking hero.
Yeah, great job, Corey.
You're
Thank
just
you for doing
dope.
something dope.
Still mad that the whole squad and you voted yes for Nancy Pelosi, but she's been killing it for 2 weeks. So what if that's how they got it? When
They were like, Nancy, promise. And she was like, okay, I'll save America. And she coughed up
those
dust.
are the best backroom deals I've ever seen. Or not seen. Okay, man, this is me a hard one to edit.
Yeah. Well, we'd have to both work on this. But, yeah, yesterday there was a domestic terror attack. Republicans are psychopaths. If you're still a Republican, you're a traitor. We're tired. We're going to wrap this one up. But thank you for listening. This has been 2021's first variety hour, and I fucking pray it's the most tame.
Wanted on the record, this was recorded on January 7th.